because I'm really interested. Hey, thank everybody for tuning in. This is the after show on Culture Spot. Your boy, Truth Be Told, hosting Reverend Radeem Robinson in the building. We just had an amazing conversation and a hell of a way to come back from a half a year layoff. We were actually in the middle of discussing. This is something I haven't really shared with anybody, but my cousin that I grew up with in Michigan has asked me to marry him and his bride to be. And so I was talking to my man Redeem right here because, as he said, he just shared with me he's been an ordained pastor for 10 years now. Huh? Oh, look at that. But he just married somebody 2 or 3 months ago, and he was in the middle of telling me about it. So, if you could, brother,
Yeah.
yes. How was it?
Yeah, so it was actually a very interesting experience for the first time. So just a little bit of background. I actually came out of the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church.
Okay.
It's one of the largest Black denominations in the country.
AME? Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I actually ended up leaving
Okay.
and crossed over to the United Church of Christ. So for the first time, I've asked to marry somebody. I'm like, yo, what manual do I use?
Right.
Like, how do I marry these people? So I'm studying the UCC manual, and I'm like, I don't like this. So I had to go back to my AME Zion manual, and I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, the first time I ever married somebody, I married them at a house. Like I said, it was kind of a hood wedding, but I loved every bit of it because why? The family was there, and everybody, and they loved each other.
That's
And
what's
I'm
up.
like, this is beautiful. Like, I want something like that. If
That's
I
how
ever
it's supposed to
decide to
be.
get married again,
Yeah.
like, marry me inside a house, you know.
Mhm. Keep it old school, man.
Yeah, I loved it. The kids were happy, the family was happy, everyone got along. There was cake and wine, and then we dipped.
Yes. Man, it sounds like a good time. That sound like the wedding I'm gonna be doing. So
yeah.
that's what's up, man. But yo, we were talking on the show earlier. We had a lot of topics that we touched on. But I told you when we got on here, one of the main things I was going to talk about is non-voters and mainly people getting in their own way and not even realizing it. And like we were talking about, folks abstaining from voting because they want, they're being on their high horse, so to speak. But what good is having a high horse if there's no water for that horse to drink?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
like, what are your thoughts? Because I told you, I'm like this close to cussing people out.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm the same way. I'm like, this election is too important for us. And we can't abstain from voting. We can't afford that. We have a Supreme Court that we need to worry about. When we're also talking about not voting, look what Trump did in his first term. This
Right.
guy tried to get rid of Obamacare.
Yes.
Do you know how many people are alive today and are getting health care because of Obamacare?
If I know that it will be at least 20 million people that would lose their insurance.
Exactly.
And that's
nothing to play with. That's a death sentence.
Oh.
Also, when we look at the leadership that has happened during COVID-19, there was no leadership. This has been piss poor. Can I say that on the air? This has been piss poor leadership from the president. Do you honestly want 4 more years of that? I refuse to see 4 more years of that.
I agree.
I refuse to see 4 more years of racism. I refuse to see 4 more years of just incompetency from the White House. I can't deal with it no more. And I know Joe Biden is not the perfect candidate, but you know what? He's better than what we got now. And our job right now is to and I really don't think Biden is going to move America forward. I'm just being real. I don't think he's going to move America forward. His job, his sole mission is to undo 4 years of Trump.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
Also to set up for 2024 the next president of the United States.
Who will be the first Black woman president?
Yes.
So I'm all here for that.
Exactly. So we got to look at the bigger picture.
Yes.
And also we shouldn't focus so much on the presidential election. Local. Vote local. That is what matters most. Who are you going to vote for mayor? Actually, there's a mayoral race here in Phoenix. A lot of people don't know that.
All right.
And we actually have a Black candidate who is running
Tim
for.
C.
Yeah, he's actually running for mayor.
Yep.
We have several people that are running for a legislature, who are running for city council, school board. Vote local. Local races is what impacts us the most.
And you know what? I think one of the reasons that a lot of people haven't been able to be involved is because prior to COVID, their typical day in, day out routine really didn't give them a place to do that. If you're struggling to pay your bills and you don't have time to make it to a city council meeting, like I need a I need someone to create an app because everyone is always on their phones nowadays. And now most people are home because of COVID. There needs to be something where everything can be accessible and digestible to the common individual.
And actually, now it's a great time to do that because like everything is virtual now.
Yes.
School board meetings are virtual.
Yep.
City council meetings are virtual. You can do everything from home and from and like what you just said, it would be great if there was an app.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's something like that out there.
It's a matter of just needing to find it.
Yeah, we just need to find it.
And I think being able to connect people to it and to have them understand that the voting is just one step of it.
Yes.
It's not the whole. It's not the whole shebang. It's not an all or nothing deal.
We will never solve all of our problems just by voting.
Never.
It's part of the solution. And I tell people this all the time. Like, activism is more than just marching down the streets and protesting. That's just a small percentage of it.
Right.
Activism looks like many different things in different ways, especially, you're a poet. And I've heard some of your stuff. That's activism.
Thank you.
That is activism.
That's my form, yes.
That's your form of activism. Some people are activists by drawing or painting. Some people are activists by preaching.
Speaking of which, not to interrupt you, shout out to Antoinette Carley.
Yes.
Did you hear about the mural?
Yes.
Bro, she's going to have a 9-foot mural of James Baldwin.
Yes.
Downtown. Yes.
She is doing amazing things in Phoenix.
I cannot wait to spit a poem in front of that. She's one of my superheroes, and I mean that for real. Antoinette, if you watching this, shouts out to you.
Yes. I can't wait to preach. Oh yeah.
I'll let you know as soon as I forgot where the spot is, but I believe it's in it's gonna be in the Artist Row area.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
So actually
we'll let y'all know.
Some of our videos that we have done with Ebenezer, we have actually shot in front of murals downtown. So
yeah.
I can't wait to do a video in front of it and put it out there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, one thing, and I wrote it down. I had it in the top, and we didn't even hit on it. The census.
The census, bro.
Like I need people to understand the urgency and the attention. Like, yo, if you are watching this right now and you have not completed the census, I need you to turn this off right now. Yes, I mean that.
Yes.
And go ahead and fill out the census. We've been doing this show. I got the timer right here for 7 minutes and 38 seconds and counting right now. In the time it took for you to watch this segment, you could have completed the census.
It's so quick and so easy.
Right. And the thing is, like, people don't understand that each person that's not counted is $3,000 to $4,000 per person. And in 2010, seven out of 10 Black children were not counted.
Exactly.
And we're talking about how voting is important for something. This is money. This is government money. This is money that we deserve, that we're supposed to have for our communities. But if you don't show up and you're not counted, you don't count.
Yeah.
Literally, you don't get anything. It doesn't matter if you are undocumented or not. It doesn't matter. They can't do anything as far as taking you out your home. Your information is not made public until 72 years afterwards.
Yep.
So if you're if you say you're 30, you're going to be 102 by the time that information from this year comes out. It'll be 2092.
Yep.
When that information is released. You have nothing to be afraid of. And misinformation is what makes people afraid and what makes people lose out. We do not have that time.
Exactly.
So if you want to make sure you count it, census.gov takes maybe 5 minutes, if that.
Please get on there and get that done. It's so imperative. Like, even when we're talking about like districts, congressional districts, they do all that. They make the new congressional districts by census.
Yes.
And also, let me tell you something else, especially about Arizona. Census says that we're about 4 or 5% of the population, maybe 6%.
It says that.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that
It's
at
not.
all.
There
is way more than of us out here.
And the thing is, like, it's we were at a rate of 200 to 300 people per day that were moving here, and the majority of those are African American.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter if you're not counted.
Exactly.
It's like people complaining about voting and not voting. Like, I've never in my lifetime, and all the times I've been in radio since I've been interning in college back in like 2003. I've had spots, I've had opportunities, I've been in different parties, different events. I have never gone to a party and seen a DJ take a request from somebody outside the club. You're not gonna change something unless you're a part of it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, like, we need to make that happen. And all these so-called woke individuals that are cutting their own progress off and not realizing it.
Anybody who's talking about not doing the census and abstaining from voting, They're not woke. They sleep.
No. Matter of fact,
that's people you don't need to follow.
I'm gonna go a step further. If you listen to folks that's talking about they're not voting and not taking the census, they don't love black people.
Hey, oh, bro.
I said it,
bro.
Come find me.
Amen.
It's not. We are not in a time where we can act like children, and apathy is what put us in this position in the first place. We got to understand it's not about everybody being superheroes. Just be super with your part that you're doing.
Exactly.
And your part, two of the easiest things you can do is vote. You can literally vote by mail. You ain't even got to leave the house.
And you can register online.
Yes. Everything like
servicearizona.com.
Servicearizona.com. Make sure you go there. We got.
How do they participate in the census?
Census.gov. Again, census.gov. Make sure y'all go on there, fill out. Super simple. We're at a point now where people have been filling it out online since April, March, and now you're gonna start having people come to your doors knocking for the census. They are not ICE. Nobody is messing with you.
They're not the police.
They're not the police. Make sure you fill this out because just to show you how the same way we were talking about how people are trying to suppress the vote, they are actively working to suppress the census.
Absolutely.
The census deadline has been cut by a month. And the majority of people who have not filled out the census right now are families of color.
Yep.
We are the people who need the money the most, who have been asking for the money, who've been working for it. This is your opportunity. Do not hesitate.
And the next time we'll get this opportunity is, I believe, in 10 years from now.
Yeah, it's every 10 years.
Yeah.
So 2030, you have 2 months. You have less than 2 months. Matter of fact, yes, because September 30th you have 6 weeks. And then you have to wait 10 years. If I told you that you go on, y'all on here going on Facebook, filling stuff out, I almost cuss, filling stuff out and not getting paid for it. You take 5 minutes of the census and you giving your community $3,000 to $4,000.
Exactly.
That's a no-brainer to me. There's no strings attached. Like I said, you're on the school board. I'm the newly appointed chair of arts and entertainment for Arizona PTA. Thank you, man. Thank you. I don't say that as a brag. I say it to say we are in positions where once these monies reach our communities, we have people in positions that can do something with it. So if you want to see change, you need to change your habits. You need to change your attitude. You need to change your thinking. And let's come together and create some actual change.
Exactly. No, brother, you said everything that I wanted to say.
I'm sorry.
It's no, you good. Listen, it's anti-black to abstain from the census and to not vote. It's just straight up anti-black.
You know what? I mean, there's nothing left to say. Anything else you want to say in closing?
Self-care. Ooh,
that's right. That's what we had to talk about. So we had touched on it a little bit before. Regarding self-care, like what have been the things that have helped you out the most? What have you learned? Like, have there been lessons that you had?
Yeah, so self-care is something that is very important to me. I take it very seriously because in the past I've not done a good job at taking self-care seriously. I've literally ran myself into the ground. I've gotten so busy that I've neglected my loved ones. And that's not self-care, and that's not healthy. So what I'm practicing now is I don't do anything after 8 p.m. I don't politic. I don't church unless it's very important. I just don't do it after 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I try to be in bed or on the couch. I'm doing me.
Right.
And I need to do me. And how old are you? I'm 31.
Hey, smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Wait,
but you want to know something? One thing I do want to talk about: Zoom fatigue,
bro.
Zoom is tiring me out.
If I have one more damn 4-hour meeting,
I can't do it.
No,
it's exhausting.
It really is.
It's mentally exhausting. So, like after a long day of being on Zoom, man, I throw that computer.
Just launch it. I haven't even opened my laptop in a couple of days. It's just time. But like for me, self-health has been just learning how to stop, how to just pause.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't do that. I say it jokingly, but there's a lot of truth in jokes. Black men just got allowed to have emotions publicly 3 years ago.
Man, exact.
So,
Man, truth.
And what I need people to understand is that we are in a space where we are still learning how to care for ourselves because literally no one has shown us or shared it. There's been a lot of enabling. There's been a lot of people who have been coddling or but as far as just us being able to have a space to be wrong or to heal, we don't have that often. So I've had to create that space for myself and then also try to work to create it on, just with conversation with other brothers, man. Just simply saying something like, hey, man, I love you.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
And we need to normalize that.
Yes.
Like even today, like I was with one of my boys today, we was at a very, very small church service. I'm over here hugging on them. I'm like, we need to normalize men just hugging on each other, just showing emotion. There's nothing, we will say gay. That's not.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And the thing is, what has been wrong has been the way that it's been treated and shown and presented to us as, there's only one way to be masculine. Right. There's only one way. Like vulnerability is nothing that we have ever been privileged to have. Right. And so to now actually have those spaces and to learn to be able to cry, to meditate, listening to a motivational podcast or something to that effect. These are all things that coming from where I come from in Saginaw, Michigan, you don't get those things. No, you don't. So it's now seeing that and just like you said, just normalizing it. And again, man,
and we also as Black men, we also need to learn to say, hey, that hurt my feelings.
Yes. And we need people to not treat us as if we're less than men by saying that we have feelings and they've been hurt.
Exactly. We have feelings too.
And that's where we need our sisters to come in and listen. We ain't saying you wrong. We just need you to listen the same way y'all need us to listen. Right. We'll get on that next time.
Ooh, that's a whole nother conversation, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But for now, man, I want to thank you for coming through. Thank you for what you've been doing for the community. Continue to fight. However we can be of service to assist you, man. We got you.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, we got hand sanitizer. Y'all don't worry about that.
Yeah,
right?
we good.
We good. All right, but y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the after show, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Wonderful.
Yeah, man. Beautiful thing.